Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. I am Jasmin Kusain, and today I want to share with you a story that is very close to my heart. It's about the struggles of following your dreams, the challenges we face when our aspirations clash with the expectations of others. This is a story that I wrote entitled Mina's Journey of Acceptance. Mina's heart raced as she stood before the towering facades of a police academy, the culminations of years of dedications and determination. Ever since she was a child, she had dreamed of wearing the same uniform her father had worn, of walking the same street he had patrolled, and of upholding the same values of justice and services that he had instilled in her since childhood. But as she reached for the door, a voice echoed in her mind, a voice filled with love and concern, the voice of her parents. Her father, a retired police officer, had always been her hero, regaling her with stories of his time on the force and igniting the fire within her to follow his footsteps. And yet, her mother's dream had always been for Mina to pursue a career in education, to become a teacher, believing it to be a noble and stable profession. For months, Mina had wrestled with the conflicting desire of her heart and the expectations of her family. She had tried to explain her passions for law enforcement, the calling she felt to follow in her father's footsteps. But her parents had been adamant, urging her to prioritize stability and security above all else. And so, with heavy hearts and tears in her eyes, Mina made a decision to surrender her dream of becoming a police officer, to accept her fate as a future educator, and to honor her parents' wishes. As she enrolled in a teaching program at the local universities, Mina found solace in the familiar rhythm of academia, throwing herself with her studies with determinations and grit. And yet, amidst the lesson plans, the grading papers, there was a lingering sense of emptiness, a whisper of the life she had once imagined for herself. But Mina pushed those thoughts aside, burying them deep within her heart as she embraced her new role as a student teacher. She found joy in shaping young minds, in igniting a passion for learning within her students, and in knowing that she was making a difference in their lives. Year passed, and Mina became a respected educator, her classroom filled with laughter and learning. And as she looked back to her journey, she realized that perhaps surrendering her dream had been a choice in itself, a choice to prioritize her family's happiness over her own, to find fulfillment in different kind of service, and to embrace the fate that had been written for her all along. Occasionally, Mina would visit her father, listening intently to stories from his days on the force. And in those moments, she could not help but feel a twinge of longing, a reminder of the dream she had once held so dear. But as she looked around at the smiling faces of her students, Mina knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be, that her true calling lay not in the pursuit of her own dreams, but in the fulfillment of her parents' wishes, in honoring the legacy of her father's service, and embracing the fate that had led her down this unexpected but ultimately rewarding path. Let me tell you a story. This story entitled Ilustrado. It is a novel written by Miguel Sycujo, published in the year 2008. The story is presented as a literary mystery and follows the protagonist Miguel Sycujo as he investigates the mysterious death of his mentor, Crispin Salvador, a celebrated Filipino writer. Miguel, a young Filipino writer living in New York, returned to Manila after hearing about Salvador's death. He is determined to uncover the truth behind his mentor's demise and to unravel the enigma of Salvador's life. As Miguel delves into Salvador's past, he discovered a complex web of secrets, scandals, and controversies that spans decades of Filipino history. Through a combination of Salvador's unpublished manuscript, Miguel's own recollections and interview with people from Salvador's past, the novel pieces together the story of Salvador's life and the tumultuous events that shaped him, from his involvement in political activism to his relationships with women and struggles with identity. Salvador's life is revealed to be intricate and layered as his writing. As Miguel digs deeper, he also grappled his own identity and sense of belonging as a Filipino and as a writer. His journey of self-discovery parallels his investigation into Salvador's life. He ultimately comes to terms with his own place in the world. Ilustrado is not only a gripping mystery, but also a reflection of Philippines' history, cultures, and identity. It offers a contemporary perspective on the complexities of Filipino society